According to the Nigerian military and local officials, 70 people were killed on Saturday when an unmanned attacked a community in the west area of Benue State. 5 killed in Kaduna State. Retired Air Force officer Air Commodore Abayomi Balogun speaks to the general public of the incident. If you're just watching us, subscribe to our channel, like, share, and comment.
At least 26 people have been killed in 3 separate Easter attacks in northern Nigeria. According to the Nigerian military and local officials, at least 17 were killed on Saturday when armed men attacked the Balogun community in the West area of Nigeria's north-central Benue state. Governor Hyacinth earlier confirmed the attacks on Sunday, but did not specify how many people were killed in the attack. Residents gave the figure of 17. On Sunday, at an Easter service in Ariko village in Kaduna State, gunmen killed 5 people, according to the army. The identity of the gunmen is unknown. The army said the assailants were forced to abandon the abduction of 31 hostages as the troops responded to a distress call. I'm joined now by retired Air Force officer and seasoned military fighter pilot, Air Commodore Abayomi Balogun. Glad to have you join me on the program.
Thank you.
Let me reel it out because I have had interviews here discussing about number of people killed, and I always said these are not numbers. These are sisters, brothers, husbands, wives, or families. Gunmen killed 7, kidnapped others in Kaduna churches on Easter Day. Bawa, a counselor there, said the attackers operated for a long time, shooting at congregants indiscriminately without any response from security personnel. Long time without any response from security personnel. He noted that poor telecommunications coverage in the area delayed any response from security forces, allowing the attackers to act freely. The incident comes less than 2 months after another attack on churches in Krumin Wali, southern Kaduna. And then 11 people have been killed and more than 50 houses destroyed in a violent attack on communities in Nasarawa State. The incident occurred in the early hours of Friday, that is Good Friday.
Yes.
Nigeria seems to have become a killing field, annoyingly so.
Yeah, sadly, that's what the storyline says, because it's killing everywhere. Yeah, the military, they are succeeding in some places, but then you want total security for all the citizens. Now, I sit down in disbelief to see that my armed forces, the armed forces I served, is today handicapped in a lot of ways. But I still believe that despite the handicap, we can still overcome if we choose to do the right thing at the right time. Because for me, right now, we are reactive. For a while, we have been reactive. We have not been proactive. And how do you become proactive? It's when your operations are intelligence-driven. We must be able to get there before the enemy. You must be able to know the enemy. You must be able to determine their intentions, their course of actions. Then you will take preventive and preemptive measures to prevent them from doing anything. But right now, we allow them to plan, we allow them to group until they attack us, then we respond. Now, how do we respond? Even the response, we still don't have that capability of quick response. So you hear that these guys have come, they have attacked social place, and they left into thin air. No, if we have the quick response squad, which is air mobile, if we go into that compact air mobile, who are ready, always available to be deployed at short notice. When we were flying, we had alert phases. And when we are at alert A, Alpha, we are seated in the aircraft waiting for the go. So if there's anything, we are already seated in the aircraft and we are taking off.
That is not being done now.
I don't know. I've been out of service for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah.
I don't know if they.
I mean, because you're a military man. I mean, I was asking
Yes,
because you will have
that's
such
the
information.
ideal, because there are different phases of alert that you put your soldiers depending on the situation on ground. So if it is something you must quickly respond to, the guys are already in the cockpit. Okay, but then now I'm not seeing such response from us, and that is the area I think we should work on. Leverage on technology, and then heavy on intelligence. Where do we get this intelligence? From the grassroots. Yes, there's open source intelligence, but if we change the strategic approach, because right now we are doing top to bottom, we should start bottoms up approach.
What does that mean?
Yes, where the people at the community become your first layer of defense. Without gun, they will not carry anything, but you must empower them to be able to see something and say something. Today we have that slogan, we say, when you see something, say something. The structure is not there. So when they see something, who do they say that something to? You must create that, you must be deliberate. You must create that structure and say, when you see something, say it to this person.
Yeah, okay. How do you create that? You've talked about so many things, intelligence, structure, which I will come down to what former intelligence, he talked about former intelligence officer said. Yeah. But how do you, because we're discussing this to solve problems,
yes,
how do you create that structure that is not there now?
Now, I will take you there. What we need to do is to create an agency called Multi-Agency Coordination and Control Center, where all agencies are represented in a hall under one umbrella. The DSS is there, the Army, Navy, everybody, we are embedded in that hall. So that when something happens, it's routed straight to that hall, where the intelligence is analyzed and immediately passed to the end user. Like, let me give you an example. In that structure, if there's a kidnapping case, what will kidnappers do? They will make a call. If they don't make that call, they don't get ransom. So, part of the people in that multi-agency coordination and control center is the rep of the NCC. So he's there. And that kidnapping call, that call for ransom comes to that center. And the chairman, whoever is heading it, say, okay, NCC, give me the nearest mast from that call. NCC has it and says, give me the coordinate of that mast. The NCC will give the coordinate. We are all together. Then the man looks at it. Okay, who takes it? Air Force. Take this coordinate, send one of your drone there, and go and monitor that place. And the drone is over there. The Air Force has drones today that can stay airborne for 26 to 30 hours and give you live coverage of what they are seeing into that agency. So you are watching, and the drone is watching, live streaming. When the drone gives you that place, you now look at your people. Is it an Army task, Navy task, DSS, police? In that same cell, you task the guy to do it. And the sweet thing about it, it's like when you are doing a Zoom call. What do? You share the link. Yeah. So that drone is sending this video that we use our telephone to do. And that link can be shared through any 4G phone to the man that is going to do the job. And he has it, he has the early warning, he's seeing whatever that drone is seeing. And he says, okay, they are there. Do I go through the left, through the right? You will be the one to plan what you want to do with them. You will be the one to ambush them. But we need such structure. 2 days ago, we saw how Americans rescued those people.
Yeah, the missing.
See the combination. See the integration of resources to get that one man out of that place.
Just one.
Are you saying we can't do it? We can. It just requires a little bit seriousness and critical thinking.
You know, as I was wrapped in attention listening to you graphically, I'm sure people who are watching now, even in the studio, are listening to you graphically paint this picture. But then they will also wonder, why are these things not being done? What is the hindrance? Listen, a former intelligence officer, Wing Commander Eli Waziri, retired. He claims that early warnings were given of an attack in the state. That's one of, I think it was the just thing. But it was ignored. He says authorities failed to take timely action to prevent it. Timely action, very important. And he also said something that Saad, Sultan of Sokoto said. He said the Sultan asked are we now back to the old days? He went on to ask security agencies to take the war to the terrorists, bandits, etc., instead of being reactive. And that's the basic question everybody's asking.
Yes, still is because we don't have that structure. If you have that structure, that decision is taken by everybody. Nobody goes behind to change it. But see, right now there's something similar. They call it the fusion center. But the fusion center, for me, from an outsider, is not as manned as it should be. It should have been a 24 hours place. When I was in the service, we had something similar called Joint Operations Center, and we were manning it. All the agencies were represented. That was at a smaller scale. What we need now is a whole of nation approach, a whole of government approach where everybody is represented. Even the Sultan will be there. It might not be there physically, but whatever decision is taken is binding on everybody.
Yeah, but this structure you have painted now,
Yes.
I know you were talking about bottom up. I didn't see
Now,
you
the
include
bottom up is coming from the grassroots. It will end up in that multi-agency coordination and control center. The bottoms up is that, yes, the guys at the grassroots, you must identify them. At the district level, at the local government level, at the state level. So when the guys at the district and they see something, it's so simple. Yes, because we all carry our mobile phones. Today, most mobile phones are Android, so they can video. So when you say somebody sees something to say something, that man you have cultivated at the grassroots belongs to a platform within that community, and he sees something with his phone. It's on a platform, and he snap or make a recording of it, or talk to it, and send it to that district and say, this is what I'm seeing. Take Abuja, for example. Somebody sees something around Wuse Market. It's on our platform. We are here. And he send it to the platform. You have seen that thing. It's in Wuse Market because you know who is sending it. Then small time, somebody in zone 4 see the same object. Oh, it's now in zone 4. Now, the district will now look at it. Can we handle it? Is it a threat we can handle? Yes. If it is what they can handle, they will. If not, they send it forward to the local government. The local government look at it. Can we handle this? No, it's beyond us. You send it to the state. The state, if it's beyond them, immediately send it to the federal.
And this has to be in real time.
Yes. How long does it take? Technology. 5 minutes, this information gets to Abuja. We are looking at it. Then you task the man, the first respondent. Air Force go there. Army go there. Something is happening there. That command and control is what is lacking.
Now, how do we train? Because there's the talk about people being afraid of their lives when they give information away. The grassroots now, bottom up, I'm talking about. You know, so some people are afraid to give information to the authorities because they're unprotected and these people could come kill them. And then they also give information to the bad people. How do you then train these people? How do you protect them? How do you assure them that their lives are safe if they have to see something?
Already protected because we are going electronically. If I video you now and send it to a WhatsApp group that I belong, who knows? Except you on that platform. And how do you get these people? And this is where I will bring in veterans. You have your ex-soldiers, ex-policemen, retired civil servants who are all over Nigeria. They are elderly people, they are adult, they have the experience. You have trained them, particularly the veterans. I call them Nigeria retired assets. They are our assets that we don't pay attention.
We're not using,
We are not using them. But we spend so much money to train these people. The day they retire, they go back to their villages. But they are there. They are willing. So what do? Create that structure. Get an umbrella body to monitor these veterans so that when you need them, you can reach down to them. Today, we don't have such a thing.
Now, I don't have all the time in the world. Let me see if I can address two issues. I'm aware, and I'm sure you're aware, just like you were talking about the Android, ransom and NCC, ransoms get paid.
Yeah.
Why can't we track down these monies and get the people? That's one. Two, why are the people responsible not being arrested and prosecuted? Nigerians don't get to hear anything about that.
I think what we need to do is to set up some think tanks. People that will just sit down and think, not necessarily people in the service. There are people out there who are not bothered with anything in life anymore. They just sit down and think for you. Because when you are talking about tracking, these days you hear about bandits, kidnappers asking for machine.
Yeah.
And I told myself, I said, that machine is their death certificate. How? If ask me for machine, I will give you 20 if you ask for 2. Because those machines will be tracked. They will collect them. And wherever they go, we will see them.
Why are we not doing it?
I don't know why. That's why I say we need to create some people whose responsibility will just think for these guys, the active guys. We'll just sit down and be thinking for them, do it like this. You are the one to do it. But we have the time to think for you. I will say this because I was once in the military. The military generals really are too occupied because each of them have their primary assignment in the various offices. Now you now bring in operations. They are treating their primary assignment. Now they are thinking about national security. How do they balance it? But you need to create some people whose job, whose life will just be thinking about national security and then passing it to them to execute. Until we are able to do that, see, we see television every day. The CDS is attending one conference there. Chief of Army Staff is over there. What time do they have to sit down? Yes, they are so occupied. Okay. They have to administer the unit, the men, everybody.
This discussion is so interesting.
Yeah.
I would have wished it to go on for because frankly, I'm getting answers to the questions in my brain, how things are not being done the way they ought to be done. Now, Tiku is blaming insecurity on unemployment, education gaps, corruption, governance failures. What really? Because if you don't know the root cause of a problem, you're wasting your time by addressing the roots or the leaves.
Yeah.
The root will grow up again. So what really are the drivers of this insecurity? And in your thinking, why have we not come to grips with this for more than 15 years? And offset we're discussing, and I said to you, can't we just decide and say, move all security units, all army units to where this thing is happening as a way of emergency? Just briefly tackle this.
And I answered, I said, we can't declare state of emergency the whole nation because even the military, the armed forces that will handle it, you don't have the strength to do that. I will want to say, we know the root causes of this insurgency or the crisis. While we are doing the kinetic means, we will also do the non-kinetic. They must go together. But the state we are now, we have passed all this JoJo level. We have to take bold steps. We have to be audacious. Former president of Philippines, at a point, he told his people that him as the president is ready to become a terror to bad people. There are few bad people. We can become terror to them so that the good people can live well.
A good place to stop it. I wish we had more time. Military fighter pilot, Air Commodore abayomi balogun. Frankly, it's been interesting discussing with you on the program. Thank you for your ideas and your intelligence, your intelligence on this particular subject of insecurity. Thank you so much for being on the program. All right, well, that's it for this edition of Arise Primetime. Do join us again tomorrow. From me and the entire team here in Abuja, goodbye and thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching. For more videos, subscribe to our channel. We News Updates.